Welcome to the deep dive. Have you heard that rumor going around that Jeff Bezos and Spotify recently pulled their funding from Toloka AI?
Oh, yeah, it is everywhere right now.
Right. But looking at the comprehensive strategic analysis report we are jumping into today, that rumor isn't just slightly wrong, it's completely backward.
It really is.
So our mission today is to untangle these wild capital rumors and, uncover the massive hidden human supply chain that actually powers the AI revolution.
Which is fascinating because it really shatters that illusion of a pristine, purely digital brain just learning entirely on its own.
Totally. Okay, let's unpack this because the data shows Bezos Expeditions didn't divest at all. Instead, in May 2025, they actually led a massive $72 million investment in Toloka.
Yeah, and that cash infusion is what granted Toloka operational independence from his parent company, Nebius Group.
Right. But I have to push back here for a second. Toloka manages a global workforce of like 200,000 gig workers.
That's a huge number.
It is. So why is Jeff Bezos pouring millions into a company built on human labor when his AI investments are supposedly designed to automate human labor?
Well, that is the ultimate paradox of modern technology right now. If we connect this to the bigger picture, Bezos is simultaneously co-leading a highly secretive $41 billion startup called Project Prometheus.
Oh, the one building AI for physical engineering?
Exactly, to revolutionize heavy industry.
Yeah.
And the main bottleneck for Prometheus, and really all AI right now, isn't computing power anymore. It's high-fidelity proprietary data.
Because you can't just scrape the internet for that.
Right. You need a process called reinforcement learning from human feedback, or RLHF.
So basically keeping a human in the loop. I mean, I like to think of those 200,000 workers as AI tutors.
That's a great analogy.
Because to stop algorithms from hallucinating fake facts, you actually need people with PhDs in math, law, or medicine to sit down and manually grade the AI's logic step by step.
Precisely. And Toloka controls the infrastructure of human tutors needed to generate that premium data, which honestly is the perfect bridge to how that Spotify rumor started.
Oh, yes. I was wondering about that. If the Bezos money is real and flowing, how in the world did Spotify get dragged into this financial narrative?
This is honestly one of my favorite details in the report. So it started because financial analysts use Spotify as a metaphor to explain Toloka's platform economics to investors.
Wait, meaning what exactly?
Well, think about the mechanics of Spotify. It's a platform that connects millions of listeners to millions of musicians, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Toloka operates on the exact same economic model, but instead of connecting listeners to music, it connects AI developers to this massive network of data annotators.
Ah, I see. So analysts basically said Toloka is like the Spotify of data and people just misunderstood.
Yes, combined with a literal algorithmic misunderstanding. Automated sentiment trackers scraped the web for the terms Toloka and Spotify and took the metaphor completely literally.
You are kidding.
No, and to make it even more confusing, there is actually a Ukrainian folk dance band named Toloka actively streaming tracks on Spotify right now.
That is hilarious.
Right. The algorithms conflated a multi-million-dollar AI infrastructure company with a folk band. There was never any corporate funding from Spotify to begin with.
Wow. The algorithms basically hallucinated a financial partnership just because they lacked human context. But, while that algorithmic mistake is pretty funny, the report does show the company's past data practices had some very dark, real-world consequences.
Yeah, the tone shifts a bit here. We have to look at why Toloka needed to restructure and separate from Nebius Group in the first place.
Right.
In 2024, Toloka legally severed ties with its legacy Russian parent company, Yandex, in a massive $5.2 billion split. And this was purely for geopolitical survival, to distance the company from devastating Western economic sanctions.
And the report outlines the complex history there. Now, we're just impartially reporting what the document says here, but previously, Toloka's workers were annotating data for Russian facial recognition systems.
Like Tech Lab, yeah.
Exactly, which were used by the state to track and detain political dissidents. But here's where it gets really interesting. The gig workers annotating this data largely had no idea what they were actually building.
Oh, that's the inherent danger of microtasking. You take a massive state surveillance apparatus and you break it down into thousands of tiny, disconnected tasks.
So a worker might just be asked to draw a box around a face in a random photo for a few cents.
Exactly. They don't know who the person is or who bought the data. And because of those legacy contracts held by the former Russian subsidiary, The Dutch government is currently investigating 192 possible sanction violations.
It really brings the reality of the technology you use every day into focus. A supposedly neutral digital tool is often propped up by a hidden human workforce caught up in severe geopolitics. So, what does this all mean for their future?
Well, the report notes, Toloka is aggressively trying to evolve away from that fragmented microtasking model. They're actually launching a project called Tandem.
Which is a hybrid AI project manager, right?
You got it. They want to automate the management of these complex freelance workflows, synthesizing their massive crowd network with AI to provide polished, business-ready products, not just supplying raw, disjointed training data.
Which leaves us with this provocative thought to ponder. If cutting-edge artificial intelligence strictly requires hundreds of thousands of human experts, constantly fact-checking its logic behind the scenes, at what point is artificial intelligence just a digital disguise for highly outsourced human intelligence?